going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of my show, CarTalk. So, today is going to be a little mismatch of a couple different things. I'm going to be talking about the Malibu, which I'm currently driving, and how it's been over the past roughly 3 or 4 years that we've owned it. And it'll also be a couple things that I've like just general car news and stuff, like just my thoughts on it. So let's start off with the Malibu. We've had this car for, like I said, roughly 3 or 4 years, and it's been great 99% of the time. The only few things I've had is the battery's dying in the remotes really quickly, and sometimes like the buttons on the outside doors to unlock and lock the car, they'll sometimes not work. I'm not sure if that's a remote battery issue, if it just doesn't have enough juice in the remote, or what exactly it is, but that happens every now and then, and it's not that big of a deal. You press it, it doesn't work, you reach in your pocket and press the unlock button. Not a big deal. Some of the other issues I've had is actually one major issue that has just been frustrating is the chrome around the cup holders has chipped, and in some spots it's really sharp to the point of like it'll cut your hand if you like rub it across it the wrong way, and that just is a frustrating thing. And I could maybe get that fixed and stuff, but the car's past its warranty and stuff. We're at roughly 80,000 miles, which is a lot, but I've also been on multiple road trips in this car. I've been to Tennessee, I've been to Mississippi. I'm from Louisiana, and so Tennessee is like a 10-hour drive, and for that drive I got like amazing fuel economy, upwards of like almost 40 miles per gallon, and daily in the car we get roughly 27 to 28 miles per gallon. So that's a lot of city driving and you know, a little bit of interstate, but a lot of, you know, stop and go traffic and things with that sort. But even taking it in the mountains of Tennessee, it did great, and no problem going up and down the mountains through all the curvy roads and everything, and inclines and declines. It was great, and really great on the road trips and everything. And like the steering in this car is so easy to just jump in and drive and cruise for a long time. And newer like electric power steering, the car stays so much more stable in, like, yeah, you get less feel of the road from the steering wheel and stuff, but as far as a daily driver and not a enthusiast point of view, if you're trying to go tracking in a car and stuff like that, it's great. Like, you point the steering wheel in one direction, you go over bumps and everything, and it stays just pointing straight. The car just goes that direction. It's great. Car's an excellent cruiser. Couldn't be happier with it in that aspect. Some of the things I would like more is if we would have gone with the 2-liter turbo version at the time when we bought it, but that was a little bit out of our price range at the time, and just not really something we were thinking about. But it still has plenty of power. I think these have around 160 horsepower, and I think around the same torque. And I think the 2-liter turbo ones have about 250 horsepower and a little bit less torque than that, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong if you're watching this, but I think that's roughly the figures for power on these cars. A few other things, just there could be a little bit less road noise. I feel like that's a little bit high, but it's not like it's crazy high. Like, it's still very comfortable and doable. It's not like it gives you a headache or anything on long drives. It's not to the level of a luxury car like some other brands like Mercedes and whatnot, but it's, I think for the price range, it's probably pretty good. Stereo in the car has been awesome. We just get a few issues every now and then with the infotainment, like Apple CarPlay and Android Auto won't work sometimes, and I think that's more of an issue with actually the USB plug in the car than it is the actual infotainment that Chevrolet uses. And that's fixable. I think you just pop the little cover off and you just have to re-plug it in. I think they just get loose or loose from the factory, and you just have to tighten them down a little bit. Besides that, it's been just an absolutely amazing and great car. So I know I've said a lot of negative things about the car and stuff, but those are really nitpicking details. Like, so much more often in this car, you get in, you start it up, you drive it, and no, it's not some, 500 horsepower, enjoyable to drive, daily driver, and it's not going to handle super crazy and stuff like that. But for what it is, it handles really well and surprises you. The tires are really good on this. I mean, I'm almost 80,000 miles, and yeah, I'm going to need tires soon, but I'm still on the factory tires, and that's crazy to me. We've been on road trips and everything, they're still factory tires. They're not like dry rotting or anything, and they're not, excuse me, they're not super worn down. I've rotated them properly with every single oil change and everything, but even as worn down as they are, they still handle really well in the rain and everything. And the car has plenty enough power to accelerate you at like speeds that are necessary, and like you're not gonna be flying around at insane speeds and getting insane acceleration out of it, but it's still plenty enough to be enjoyable and kind of push you back in your seat a little bit. And it surprised you for it being a 1.5 liter turbo 4-cylinder. Like, it surprises me all the time, like the things that it can do. So overall, still just thoroughly enjoying this car, even after having it 4 years. Still hop in it and enjoy it every single time you drive it. Now moving on to like some new car news, and not news, but some new car talk, kind of my opinions on stuff. And what I want to jump into is something that has been like a peeve of mine for a while, and like something that I realized and that just like blows my mind away, is any Jeep is so expensive. Like you want to get even like a mid-range Jeep, like not crazy optioned, not like anything crazy, you're still spending $45,000, $50,000, $60,000. And like if you want to get like even to the higher tiers, it gets even more expensive. But then you look at some of the other stuff around that price range, albeit like it's something completely different. Like the new Hemi Jeeps, those are what, 80-something thousand, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think they're around that price range. And then you look at like the Ram TRX, that's around that same price range, and you have 700-ish horsepower and 4-wheel drive and Baja suspension and this huge, awesome looking truck. Unless you are just an absolute Jeep fanatic, I don't like, in Jeeps, in my opinion, they're not super comfortable. They're not super luxurious. That Ram TRX, I know that thing's going to be luxurious. It's going to be super comfortable, and it's got high suspension, so it's going to be super capable off-road and everything. And it's all-wheel drive, and you're going to have wicked acceleration out of it. And I might be personal and prejudiced towards that because I love Baja trucks and all that kind of insane off-roading type of stuff. That stuff's awesome to me. Just high horsepower trucks and the look of them, and yeah, it's awesome to me. And I still think a Jeep with a V8 in it should have always been an option, but a factory option all the time, not this super special thing. And like, why are they so expensive? Yes, they're capable off-road and stuff, but so are a lot of things. And yes, some other things can be way more expensive and stuff, but me personally, I couldn't justify spending the same amount on a Jeep as I could on the Ram TRX. Like, or even spending way less than that and getting like a Camaro SS or a Mustang GT or like a Scat Pack Challenger or Charger. Like, you're gonna spend $20,000-$30,000 less, and no, you're not gonna have 700 horsepower as like the TRX, but you're gonna have the same, if not more horsepower than the Jeep. And that stuff just doesn't make sense in my mind. Like, car pricing is a real tough thing. I understand they have to make a profit and all that, but there's some stuff where I think could be changed and maybe charging a little bit too much for some stuff, in my mind. I don't know all the details of it. You know, I'm just an outsider looking in, saying my thoughts and all that. And then you keep looking at it and you say, okay, well, look at all the things that you could compare around that price range. I mean, it's unlimited. But if you're sticking with higher horsepower and stuff like that, okay, look at the Hellcats and the Hellcat Red Eyes. Around the same price. The Red Eyes, more expensive, yeah. Red Eyes, I think you can push $100,000, I think. And then you even look at, I would say Corvettes, but that's still less horsepower and can be right up there at the same price. The way you depending on the way you choose your options and everything. And then you have, the Mustang GT500 and stuff like that, and the Camaro ZL1. More horsepower, in the Ram. Like, it's all about what you want and what you want to spend your money on and what you prefer driving. And so, just speaking openly on my view of it, I think we're really lucky right now to have all the options of the V8s and the supercharged V8s and everything, especially that Dodge is doing, because that stuff's not going to last super long and last forever. I mean, like the Ram TRX, that averages like what, 14 miles per gallon. That's not something that's going to be able to last. Same thing with the Hellcats and the Hellcat Red Eyes. Like, they're going to have to find a more environmentally friendly way to do that, just because emissions are getting so looked hardly upon by not just the government, by like eco-friendly groups and stuff like that. Which, don't get me wrong, I love the environment and I love nature and stuff. I live out here in middle of nowhere, Louisiana. Like, what you're seeing right now is me driving around my hometown. So you see all the trees, you see all the open land, you see how dark it's getting right now because apparently a storm's about to come. But so like, I live on a bayou. I could go fishing every single day if I wanted to. I'm blessed with that. I prefer living in the country, really. I enjoy all the sounds and everything. I don't like being in the city and all that. I like visiting, but living there, I wouldn't like it. Just not enough green for me. But that's getting off topic, away from cars. That's a little more personal. And, but, so, in the end, you know, buy what you want to buy. Buy what you can afford, of course. Don't live outside your limits. And, you know, choose your lifestyle and live life the way you want it. And, you know, don't, if you'd rather have the Jeep, the Hemi-powered Jeep over the TRX, and you can make that option, like, more power to you. I'm not in any position to make that option. I'm just saying what I feel and think and my views on it. You know, I'm not here to tell you what you should or shouldn't buy, or what's a bad decision financially to make. I'm not here for that. I'm telling you my views, trying to help you make decisions for yourself. And, you know, don't ever let anybody kind of tell you what to think or anything like that. Be who you want to be. You know? So, I don't know. That's all I got to say. A little bit of a rant at the end there. I understand. But thank you, everybody, for watching. Y'all have a fine, great day. And I will catch y'all on the next episode of Car Talk, the next review, the next car show, the next Cars and Coffee, whatever video comes next. I can't wait to talk to y'all again. Thank y'all. Bye.